Hi guys, welcome to my live stream. I want to introduce you to some of the Leo Pop, first American pop. He is the first American pop from Detroit. These are like $30, $50 for one. Now, when I read this at first, you're going to be like, he did the right thing. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what we teach in church, that you're supposed to go back and remember if you're in a season right now. This is a really nice one. Just remember what he did. And that's what it sounds like on the surface. It's a real minted gold. I thought about the former days when my jeans fit a little looser. I thought about the former days when my hamstrings were. So I thought about the former days when I didn't need these readers to look at my Bible and this size 67 font in order to preach it to you. I thought about the former days, the years long ago. You know, last night I was so tired because I wake up to do the cookies. Let me see the cookies still in here. I remember verse 6, please. My songs in the night. So I made some cookie dough last night, and here it is. Watch what happens when it starts with me. So let's start baking it. The bacon. When you send out an I thought, this is what you get back. And you know what? I think it's really wet and not very. Will he ever show his favor again? Has his unfailing love vanished? I have to clean this out. Has his promise failed for all time? Has God forgotten? And what I heard the psalmist saying today, and I wonder if it's true. He says, I thought. So I got the parchment from Kroger. I put some making candle, you guys, because I'm not gonna go buy. I can make some candle and pie and all that good stuff. You know, it's always good to. So. I thought that my experience with God had completely dried up. I thought he didn't love me anymore. The psalmist said that. I did. So if you've ever felt that, you're in the Bible. I thought God had taken his hand off my life. I thought he had just given up on me because others did. I thought it was true. And you see in this passage what they call the three. I hope it turned out though, because right now it's kind of sticky. You know, it's not dry as I like to have. It's supposed to be raw as it's in the dough. But right now it's not. Will the Lord reject forever? It's a little too wet. Maybe I put too much on. Has his unfailing love vanished forever? I thought it was through. I thought it was gone. I didn't see his footprints in the sand. Y'all ever seen that little poster on the thing? Did you ever see butt prints in the sand? That's another one. You can look that up another time. He says, I felt rejected. I thought it was never going to come again. Now that's strong, saying never. That's strong when you think that he will never show your favor again. And he said, I thought his love had vanished. Okay, I'm going to leave it here. When you take something that happens to you and you make it personal. Yes. Okay. Put the piece away because gotta come over and tell you, get everything out or else. Putting yourself out there. Hit subscribe and share. Hit subscribe and share. Oh my god. I think the cookie turnaround is. Hit subscribe and share. I recommend cookies, but I am not sure how to cook this. So I got this from a Korean store. So we're gonna cook this. Less is more. More is one thing at a time. I'm not gonna. So I'm making a cookie in there. But what? But you get to come on, people, go into my live stream and watch me. Would you? There's no need to be shy. This is Thursday. Oh wait, this is Thursday, and why are you doing that? Did I hit something yet? Yeah. There we go. So I'm gonna try to leave this live stream on for 1 hour. Okay, you got 1 hour. Alright, Momofuku, and I have Chinchayang, and I have Mimofuku too. Mì xào lên, nó nhôm xào để làm. Thì I'm gonna bake the pork and xào mì ngon lắm. Lord. What was this? I think I'm broke by now, so I'm not gonna do anything risky. I'm gonna wait a 1 month, wait till I'm monetized again. So right now I'm totally broke. Do you know that Shopee is like Shopify in Vietnam or whatever right here? I cannot order. It's only for people over there. So May 15th is my due date for Geico insurance. So next it would be June 15th, right? I lose track of time right here. I'm so tired. I have Costco wholesale, and then I have Alaska, Mohila, that's my student loan for $4 or $5. I was so, yeah, I love it. The first money I made from YouTube, I can go to a student loan. You know, I own them. I have scholarship. I didn't take the stupid scholarship. So stupid. You're so stupid. You know? God get me out of this. I will never sign a lease again on a car that costs me $17,000 a month to look stupid driving down the road in traffic. People aren't paying attention, and I got ulcers. God, get me out of this. Get me out of this. God, if you will get me out of this, and then And this is Thai, sweet soy garlic, and chili. I'm gonna put inside pork. Yeah, I was watching the channel from Japan, Japanese. They were talking about more for less, less for more. Meaning you cultivate what you have. You know. Lemon tree. You like pick a lemon, you eat it with pepper. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. So I had the conversation in my mind. Come on, people, viewer, viewer, viewer. I need viewer. You guys see the cookie I made? Well, I made a batch last night, and this is the cookie come out. It's really good though if you give it a chance to cool down. It had marshmallow, pecan. It had almond. Ouch! God damn it, hot. Pecan. It has egg. Damn it. Pecan, egg. It has all-purpose flour. It has sugar, two kinds of sugar. It has baking soda, baking powder. It has salt. It has marshmallow. It has what else it has? Butter. It has that's it. Okay, let's put it on our side. So we need this to cool down. Are you feeling bad because thing happens to you? Shouldn't. It's not going to happen, baby. Yeah. Don't be telling them all stuff. Take it back. That's not your fault, not mine. I work there. You only, bystander, and they can be like, they kick your ass because they don't like me. That's it. Not because your problem. Me. So don't feel bad. No, no. Give them a kick ass right back. That's none of their business to come over and harass us. Because I don't comply to that fucking demand. Suck it to dick. Not bad. I will make candle walk now. Yeah. And God saved me, but I still struggle with that. And God healed me, but I still have some pain from that. And I forgave them, but I wanted to flip them off when I saw them the other day, and it came out of nowhere because I had been praying for them. I was almost to. Come on, y'all help me shout. I'll preach quickly. I'll have you out for lunch if you will help me shout. You know there are some bondages that keep pulling you back. They keep pulling you back because I'm not in heaven yet. And I am saved. I'm healed. I'm delivered. I'm redeemed. I am cleansed. I am washed by the blood of the Lamb. I'm a child of God. I'm the righteousness of Christ. And all of that is true. I am brought from the dominion of darkness and saved to the kingdom of his marvelous light, to declare the praises of him who brought me out of darkness into his marvelous light. On my way into the marvelous light, I am going through some darkness that I thought I was done with, but I wound up in this desert. And now I'm kind of— Ooh, 10,000K. I have 10,000K, guys. 10,000K. My channel is more. This is my cookie. Have some. The last time I have live stream, only 42 view and 9 view. Stupid. Why? I need to make that. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm not telling you what I feel. I'm telling you what I've seen. I'm telling you what I know. God can get you out of this. But he wants something more when he does. He wants clarity. And so the Bible says it's not bad. It really soft. And we would too. Y'all are kind of mad right now because I'm preaching a little long. Mềm. Bánh mềm. Bây giờ bắt đầu làm pie với làm candle. long life, and let me see, where'd that go? 80,000 sub.
What if the secret to living a richer life wasn't earning more money but needing less? In a world obsessed with spending, upgrading, and chasing the next big thing, there exists a culture that has quietly mastered the art of living well with less. Not through struggle, not through deprivation, but through intention. Japan doesn't just teach people how to save money, it teaches them how to live better while spending less. And once you understand these principles, you may never look at money or life the same way again. In modern society, we're constantly told that more is better. More income, more possessions, more comfort, more luxury. But despite all of this more, many people feel overwhelmed, financially strained, and mentally exhausted. Now imagine a different approach. Where your expenses naturally shrink, your stress reduces.
So this is a cookie I made from last night. Today I just baked it.
It's a
It's not
philosophy
bad,
that's
but
deeply
this could
rooted
be
in
better, I
Japanese
guess.
culture. From minimalist homes to mindful spending habits, Japan has developed
So I'm gonna make
time-tested ways
some
of living that balance simplicity, discipline, and contentment. In today's video, we'll explore 8 powerful Japanese ways to spend less and live better practices
spend
that
less
don't just save
and
money,
practice
but
more.
transform how you experience life itself. 1. Kakeibo, the art of mindful spending. The first principle is something beautifully simple, yet incredibly powerful. It's called Kakeibo. Kakeibo is a traditional Japanese method of budgeting, but it's not just about numbers. It's about awareness. Instead of blindly tracking expenses or relying on apps, Kakeibo asks you to sit down with pen and paper and reflect. Every month, you ask yourself 4 key questions. How much money do I have? How much do I want to save? How much am I actually spending? And how can I improve? But here's where it becomes transformative. Every expense is categorized into 4 groups. Needs, wants, culture, unexpected. This forces you to confront your habits not with honesty, but begin to see patterns. As purchases become visible, unnecessary spending becomes undeniable. And slowly, something shifts. You stop spending automatically and start spending intentionally. The result? Less waste, more savings, and a deeper understanding of your relationship with money. 2. Danshari. Declutter your life.
1 tablespoon.
Just your home. In Japan, minimalism isn't just an aesthetic, it's a way of thinking. Its philosophy is known as Danshari. Refuse what you don't need. Dispose of what you don't use. Detach from what no longer. Danshari is about freedom. Think about it. Every item you own takes up space. Not just physical space, but mental space. The more you have, the more you manage. The more you manage, the more energy you spend. By reducing what you own, you reduce what owns you. And here's the financial benefit. When you stop buying things you don't need, you naturally spend less. But the deeper reward is clarity. A cleaner space leads to a calmer mind. A calmer mind leads to better decisions. And better decisions lead to a better life. 3. Matanai. Respect what you already have. There's a Japanese word that carries deep emotional weight. Matanai. It expresses a sense of regret over waste. Not just financial waste, but waste of time, resources, and potential. In Japan, throwing something away isn't taken lightly. People are taught to respect what they have. Clothes are repaired, not replaced. Food is used fully, not wasted. Objects are cared for, not discarded. This mindset changes everything. Instead of constantly seeking new things, you begin to appreciate what you already own. And when appreciation grows, consumption naturally decreases. Matanai teaches that true wealth isn't found in endless acquisition, but in meaningful use. 4. Wabi-sabi. Finding beauty in imperfection. Modern consumer culture thrives on perfection. Flawless products, new designs, upgrades every year. But Japanese philosophy offers a different perspective. Wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi is the art of finding beauty in imperfection, simplicity, and age. A cracked That is one of the greatest forms of freedom. 5. Purpose over possessions. One of Japan's most powerful philosophies is something deeply personal. It's called Ikigai, your reason for waking up in the morning, your quiet motivation to keep going. Ikigai isn't something you stumble upon overnight. It's something you uncover slowly, intentionally, like a hidden thread running through your life. At its core, Ikigai lives at the intersection of four simple but profound questions. What do you love? What are you naturally good at? What does the world need from you? What can you realistically be rewarded for? Where these four meet, that's where purpose begins. But here's what makes this philosophy so powerful in a world of endless spending. Most people don't realize this, but a lot of modern consumption is emotional. People don't always buy
Good morning,
things because
guys.
they need them. They buy because they're bored, because they feel stuck, because they're trying
This is
to reward
Thursday
themselves
morning.
for a life that feels unfulfilling. That late night online shopping, that impulse purchase after a stressful day, that constant need to treat yourself. Often, it's not about the item. It's about filling a space that feels empty. And that's where Ikigai changes everything. When your life has direction, when you feel useful, when you wake up knowing that your day has meaning, that emptiness begins to disappear. You no longer need to escape your life, because your life itself becomes something you want to be present in. Your attention shifts from buying to building, from consuming to creating, from chasing temporary pleasure to experiencing lasting fulfillment. And something quiet but powerful happens. The urge to spend fades, not because you're forcing yourself to save, but because you start to feel the need to buy as much anymore. You become more selective, more intentional, more aligned. Money is no longer used to fill emotional gaps. It becomes a tool to support a meaningful. And in that shift, you don't just spend less, you live more. 6. Shinrin Yoku. Enjoy free, natural therapy. In a world filled with noise, notifications, and constant stimulation, there exists a practice so simple.
Are you serious?
People overlook its power entirely. It's called Shinrin Yoku, which translates to forest bathing. But don't be misled by the name. There's no water involved, no special equipment, no skill required. Shinrin Yoku is simply this: stepping into nature and allowing yourself to be fully present within it. No phone, no distractions, no agenda. Just
This
you.
is the bed I made last night,
You
and
you notice
it
the
kind
texture
of,
of the trees,
it
the
kind
sound
of,
of the wind.
not ook. No. It's supposed to be dry, so you can roll it in a dough. But and this is soup I'm gonna make. I don't know if it's come out good or not, but we'll see. I'm gonna make some candle next, and this is my noodle. I hope it tastes good. Let me try. Not bad. Let's try some sriracha. Oh my goodness. And we're gonna dunk this in. So what is happiness? Happiness is something that you create from the inside. You don't need expensive gift, expensive present. You don't need you don't need all that. You don't need someone to say, "Oh, you are so beautiful tonight." You know, you don't need that. So I got this. And today we're this is Japanese noodle guy, and I ordered this from 99 Market in California, where I place. We don't have it here in Juneau, Alaska. So what is containment? Containment is when you live at a place with your loved one. You don't argue, you don't fight over penny, you don't. It's a compromise situation, you know. You don't say, "Where's your money? Where's my money?" You don't talk about money. That contentment. Yeah. Don't talk to her. Kick them out. Well, you have squatter, the people that come over and stay with you to live, they call squatter. They steal from people like me and you. It's like you're nice to them and they want to take over your property. That's squatter. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? It makes sense to me. I work at Fred, right? And before I have the manager, the front end manager, the PIC that come over here. They say, "You have anything for free? Let me have some." It don't matter how much money they got, they still like to have free stuff. I'm like, I work. Most of the stuff aren't free. I earn it. Well, let me do the charge of that. You're a freak. We're gonna take over everything you have. You people have no respect. No respect. No respect. Just like Home Depot used to be. They used to threaten me about stealing propane, stealing stuff. I'm like, how that happen? Like one day you're a hero, the next day you're a villain, that sort of thing. You know, người của nó lấy cái tôi bị trắng á, người của nó lấy thì nó giấu, còn mình á ở đâu mà lấy á. Nó nói là nó quen hết không? Nó nói cái này, nó nói cái kia không? Cái tụi mất dạy á. Cái này mà bỏ ế cho ngon á. Look at myself. Black pepper. You don't need a bigger life. You need to be content with what you have. That's the whole idea. And the world constantly tell you, "Oh, you need to be perfect." In the Western world and the Eastern world, there are two big differences. The Westerner like to emphasize on wealth and money and how much you can spend. But in the Eastern world, they like to save. Oops. They don't like to spend money, especially Asian. I know không có thích xài tiền, phải không? Nhưng mà tụi Mỹ trắng á, nó thích như là nó thích, nhưng mà nó không thích mày á hả? Nó vô nó bòn chèn, nó thế này thế kia, tiền bạc lắm không? So I make soup today. Cái này ăn với lại thịt heo ngon lắm á. Where all my viewers go? Wake up, guy. Good. Good. Now I need to này là làm cái này là cái gì? Cái này là onion crisps. It's good. I'm gonna put them in here. Okay, onion crisp is bỏ vô cho nó thơm. Onion crisp. Cái này là onion powder. Powder and crisps. Let's put it all in. Nó nhiều nhức đầu quá. I'm listening to Angelique Johnson or whatever her name was. A Mexican girl. Pretty fighty. Oh. So now I'm gonna put this in the oven. Thịt heo, cái này là thịt heo biết không? Thịt heo nấu với thịt heo nấu với I don't want to listen to this. Grandma was a sibling of 25. So I'm doing chocolate chip cookies. Around the butter right now. My great grandmother passed away. See from having. I don't have to blend here, guys. I'm gonna whip this with my hand. With my fork. Well, you know, like this.
What if I told you that the secret to a calmer mind, a cleaner home, and even a more disciplined life might not be about what you add, but what you remove? In Japan, one of the most organized and peaceful cultures in the world, there is a quiet philosophy. Your home is a reflection of your mind. And clutter is silent stress. And because of this mindset, there are certain things many Japanese households simply do not keep at home. Not because of superstition, not because of wealth, but because of discipline, culture, and mental clarity. And today, you're going to discover 13 of those things. Some of them might shock you. Some of them might already be sitting in your house right now. By the end of this video, you may never look at your home the same way again. In Japanese culture, there is a powerful concept called danshari. It's not just decluttering, it's a way of life. It teaches refuse what you don't need. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Separate yourself from unnecessary attachments. The result? Homes that feel lighter, minds that feel clearer, and lives that feel more intentional. Now imagine applying that mindset to your own home. Let's go through 13 things that are commonly avoided in many Japanese households, and why you might want to reconsider keeping them too. 1. Excess furniture. In many modern homes around the world, Furniture often becomes a symbol of comfort, status, and completion.
I like furniture.
The more you have, the more settled a space appears. But in many Japanese-inspired living spaces, the philosophy is almost the
Where's all my
opposite.
viewer?
Rooms are not filled for the sake of appearance. They are designed with intention, with breathing room in mind. Because in this way of thinking, space itself is not empty, it is valuable, even sacred. Every object placed inside a room competes for attention. And when too many pieces compete at once, something subtle begins to happen. The mind becomes overstimulated without even realizing it. This is what is often referred to as visual noise, when the eyes have nowhere to rest, and the brain is constantly processing unnecessary detail in the background. Even if the room is technically clean, it can still feel heavy. And that heaviness is not always physical, it is psychological.
People, viewer, please come join me on my live stream. My channel is C'est l'Amour. Hit subscribe and share. If you don't like to hit subscribe and share, but just watch me cooking. The cookie that I make last night, it's really good, soft, chewy. It's not that sweet because was one of my intention. I don't want sweet cookie. So it's like half sweet, half not. It's the best cookie I made ever.
And interestingly,
Usually it doesn't have to be this good, but I got the recipe for the
space feels larger. Even if its size hasn't changed, movement becomes easier. Cleaning becomes faster.
Now I'm
and
gonna
the
make
mind, almost unconsciously,
the rest of the cookie.
because the room
I'm gonna
is
finish
no
this first before I put in my pork.
it is simply
See,
allowing you to
it's
exist.
supposed to be
And that is the real difference. Less
doughy,
furniture does not
but it's
mean
not.
less comfort.
It's kind of
It
wet.
means more freedom to move, more clarity to think, and more space to simply be.
See, I'm testing my theory right now.
It often starts small. A chair with a loose leg. A toaster that only works if you press the button twice. A fan that still kind of works if you adjust it just right. So we keep them. Not because they are useful, but because we delay the decision to let go. We tell ourselves, I'll fix it soon. Or, it might still come in handy. But days turn into months. Months turn into years. And the broken object quietly becomes part of the environment. In many Japanese households, there is a stronger sense of immediacy when it comes to broken items. Because an item that no longer functions is no longer fulfilling its purpose. And if something cannot serve its role, it is either repaired or respectfully removed. The idea is not wastefulness,
Let's do
it is clarity. There is a belief that keeping
toast.
broken objects around
Fried
creates a
steak.
subtle psychological weight. Not loud,
Let's bake.
not obvious, but persistent. Like unfinished thoughts sitting in the background of your mind. Every time you see
So I'm gonna try this theory about less is more is less. So I threw away most of the stuff I don't touch for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You know, if I don't touch it, I'm gonna try it.
It should either be restored or released. Because a home filled with unresolved objects often becomes a reflection of an unresolved mind. And when those items are finally removed, something interesting happens. The space feels lighter. Not because more things were added, but because unfinished energy was cleared away. 3. Excess paper clutter. Paper is deceptive. It does not scream for attention. It does not take up much space individually. It feels harmless. A receipt here, a flyer there, an old notebook on the side, a manual you might need later, and slowly, without noticing, it begins to accumulate in drawers, on tables, inside bags, under surfaces, until one day it becomes a quiet stack of disorder. In many Japanese households, paper clutter is treated with urgency, not because paper is dangerous, but because it spreads easily and silently. Systems are often put in place to sort, file, or discard documents immediately after use, because paper has a special trait. It creates the illusion of importance even when it is no longer useful. A stack of papers can make a space look busy even when nothing is happening. And more importantly, it creates mental background noise. Even if you are not consciously thinking about it, your brain registers it as unfinished business, unsorted, unresolved, pending. And that subtle pressure builds up over time. But when paper is regularly cleared, filed, or digitized, Something changes. Surfaces become open again. Drawers become lighter. And the environment begins to feel calmer. Because clarity is not only about what you see, it is also about what you don't have to process. 4. Unnecessary decorations. Decoration is often associated with beauty, but there is a fine line between beauty and excess. In many Japanese-inspired homes, decoration is not about filling space, it is about enhancing it. Each item is chosen with intention, not just for how it looks, but for how it contributes to the atmosphere of the room. A single plant, a carefully placed ceramic piece, a seasonal flower arrangement, a scroll with simple calligraphy. These are not random additions. They are deliberate expressions of balance. Because when too many decorative items are added, something subtle happens. The eye no longer knows where to rest. The room becomes visually crowded. And instead of feeling peaceful, it starts to feel busy. Even beauty, when overused, can become overwhelming. That is why the philosophy leans toward restraint. Not empty space for the sake of emptiness, but space that allows each object to breathe. In this kind of environment, even a single item can feel more meaningful. Because it is not competing with 10 others for attention. It stands alone, clearly, intentionally. And this creates a powerful shift in perception. You begin to appreciate what is present, instead of constantly scanning what is missing. Because sometimes, simplicity is not the absence of beauty. It is the presence of clarity. 5. Expired food items. Food carries more than just nutrition. It carries effort, time, intention, and care. That is why in many Japanese households, there is a strong sense of respect toward food even before it is eaten. And that respect extends to how food is stored and managed. Expired items are rarely allowed to remain in refrigerators or cabinets, not only because of hygiene concerns, but because they represent neglect. A forgotten item at the back of a shelf is more than just outdated food. It is a reminder of something overlooked. And over time, those small oversights begin to add up. A fridge filled with expired products often reflects something deeper, a lack of attention to what is being consumed and what is being kept. But when food is regularly checked, rotated, and cleared, the entire kitchen environment changes.
Are you serious
It
to me
becomes
right
more
now?
intentional, more organized, more alive. You begin to see exactly what you have. You waste less, and you value more what you choose to keep. Because food is not just about storage, it is about awareness. And a clean, updated kitchen often reflects a mind that is actively engaged with its own food, not passive, not neglectful, but present. 6. Worn out clothing you never wear. In many homes, clothing becomes more than fabric, it becomes memory. That old shirt you wore during a special trip, the jeans you plan to fit into again someday, the dress you bought because it was on sale, even though it never truly felt like you. Over time, closets quietly turn into emotional storage rooms. But in many Japanese-inspired decluttering practices, there is a firm but simple principle. If you haven't worn it in a long time, it no longer serves your present life. Not because it has no value, but because your space should reflect who you are now, not who you used to be. Closets are treated like functional systems, not emotional museums. Every item is expected to earn its place through use, not memory. And this shift changes something deeper than clothing. Because when your wardrobe is filled with only what you actually wear, you no longer waste time choosing. You no longer feel overwhelmed before even starting your day. Instead, your clothing becomes effortless, intentional, aligned with your real life, not your past self. 7. Dirty shoes indoors. In Japan, the moment you step into a home, something subtle but powerful happens. You leave the outside world behind. Shoes are removed at the entrance, almost like a ritual boundary between chaos and calm. But it goes even further than that. Even indoor footwear is treated with care, kept clean, minimal, and purpose-driven. Because the home is not just a shelter, it is a protected environment. It is believed that everything from the outside carries invisible weight, dust, noise, energy, stress from the day. And so, removing shoes is not just about hygiene. It is symbolic. It says, the outside world stays outside. The home becomes a reset space, a place where your mind is not constantly reminded of movement, urgency, or external pressure. Even in small apartments or shared spaces, this habit creates a psychological separation that many people underestimate. Because once you step into a clean, shoe-free environment, your brain receives a message. You are safe here. You can slow down now. And that shift alone changes everything. 8. Excess plastic bags. Plastic bags are one of the most silent forms of clutter. At first, they seem harmless, just a few stored under the sink or inside a drawer. But slowly, they multiply. Folded bags inside bags. Overflowing corners. Forgotten bags. In many Japanese households, this invisible accumulation is carefully controlled. Instead of letting them build up endlessly, they are immediately sorted, some reused for trash lining or storage, others recycled without hesitation. The mindset is simple. If something has no clear purpose, it should not take up permanent space. Because clutter is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, hidden, forgettable. But that is exactly what makes it dangerous. Small items like plastic bags do not feel overwhelming on their own, but together, they create a sense of unseen disorder. And over time, that disorder spreads not just through the home, but through the mind. So the goal is not perfection, it is awareness, knowing what enters your space and what quietly accumulates inside it. 9. Unused kitchenware. The kitchen is often the most crowded place in a home, not because of food, but because of objects, extra plates, duplicate spoons, gadgets bought with excitement but rarely touched again. Over time, drawers begin to feel heavier than they should. But in minimalist Japanese kitchens, there is a strong sense of discipline. Every item must justify its existence through use. If a utensil hasn't been used in months, it is questioned. If it has no real function, it is released. Not out of wastefulness, but out of respect for space. Because a kitchen is not meant to display everything you own. It is meant to support how you actually cook and live. And something interesting happens when your kitchen is simplified. Cooking becomes faster. Cleaning becomes easier. And decision fatigue disappears. You no longer search through clutter to find what you need. Everything has its place. Everything has its role. And your kitchen becomes what it was always meant to be. A tool for living, not a storage unit for forgotten items. 10. Old magazines and newspapers. Printed materials often enter a home with purpose, information, entertainment, curiosity. But once read, they often lose their purpose, yet remain. Stacked on tables, piled beside beds, left for later, it never comes. In many Japanese-inspired homes,
Not bad.
this is seen differently. Information is not meant to stay frozen. It is meant to be consumed, understood, and then released. Once its purpose is fulfilled, it is allowed to leave. Because when old magazines and newspapers accumulate, they do more than take up physical space, they create mental weight. Each stack becomes a reminder of unfinished attention, unprocessed content, unresolved later.
Okay, guys. Enjoy Thursday morning. I'm gonna go now. It's been 61 minutes. I have no view. So happy Thursday, and I'll see you later. Bye bye now.